Hey, how's it going? Hope you had a good 4th of July weekend. Over the weekend, we tried to take the Goldwing up to the mountains, have a nice little picnic. That didn't quite go as planned. We got into the next town over, the closest next gas station, and filled up the bike, and then it didn't want to restart. I got on it, had power, neutral light and all that. Hit the starter button for half a second, and everything went dark. So I checked the dog bone fuse first, thought that was it. That wasn't it. Luckily, there was a Napa right across the street. So we went to the Napa, borrowed their jump pack, and it has a little gauge on it, a little voltmeter, and hooked it up. Battery was only reading like 8 volts. So the battery just decided to short out and wasn't giving us anything. We were able to jump it and get it running, but it wouldn't go off idle. Battery was too weak to generate the right amount of spark. So we only made it like a block figuring that out, but made it to some shade. Had to send the wife to get a friend to drive her back to our house, and then she went and got a battery and brought it to me, fired it up and drove it home. So we decided to go camping that night, hopped in the truck and took off. But I did get it set up with this luggage rack. So the luggage rack was something I want to do a video on because I just threw it on here so that we could strap that cooler on and go, which has worked out very well so far. But I want to figure out what of these tabs I want to keep, cut off the ones I don't want, and powder coat this thing. Like, I don't know about leaving those, maybe. Haven't decided yet. Probably cut off the trunk mount stuff here, but I haven't quite decided yet. So in order to do that, the seat had to come off, and I had to undo those bolts and those ones there. And these are longer, so I had to find some, like, well, the bolts are that I was using here you don't need as much with this luggage rack versus the grab rail. The grab rail is thicker there. It's just a different shape all around. So I found those nuts and put them on there tight, and then put the little acorn nuts over the top of it just to cover the end of the bolt. So not bad for a quick little mod to get on the road. Too bad we didn't make it there. So after that, on 4th of July day, we went on the Goldwing to my mom's house. We were there for about 7 hours and went to leave, and it didn't want to start. Wasn't really clicking. I think the starter solenoid might have been stuck, because when we had the jumper cables on it the first time and tried it, there was no change. So I kind of made sure that plug on top of the starter solenoid was, plugged in all the way, and then tried it again and it went. So, and I've tried starting it multiple times ever since then, and it hasn't failed yet. So I don't know. I think I might just replace the starter solenoid, clean up all the connections, and then I'm thinking about a modification for the fuse box, putting in a modern fuse box and maybe a couple switches, one to turn on and off my headlight would be nice. Other than that, the Goldwing's been doing great. It's about 117 miles shy of 1,000 miles this season, and it's done 3,423 since the rebuild. So I'm enjoying it. Here's the battery, and this thing's always been kind of suspect to me because I'll just be sitting out here in the garage and I'll hear bubbling coming from this battery, even now that it's been disconnected from the bike. Of course, it is probably shorted internally, but I'm just bummed it didn't make it more than 2 years. Of course, when you look up the reviews for this battery on O'Reilly.com, they're not that great. They really aren't. I also did a significant amount of rearranging. You see the XL and the Suzuki have swapped places because it's time for the XL to get worked on. First thing I want to do is clean the points and see if I can get it to fire off the gas that's in it. And yeah, I'm going to cheat by cleaning the points first. After that, I'm excited to just get working on it. It needs a good cleaning overall. There's some oil leaks I want to track down, priorities before I get too wrapped up in cosmetics, because when I get to looking, there's some things that are a little rough. Last time I rode the XL was probably fall of 2020. I think that was when I rode it, probably 30 miles, both directions, so a 60 mile trip overall. It ran great, and it only didn't get ridden after that because the following season I finished the Goldwing project, and I've been riding the death out of that ever since. So it kind of sat in the corner and got dusty and didn't get ridden. I did run the carb dry before I left it be. So hopefully, as long as the petcock hasn't been seeping, there shouldn't be anything in the bowl of the carburetor the whole time, and therefore nothing in the jets. Hopefully. Anyway, I just wanted to give you an update on what I've been doing and where we're going from here. Up next, I have a full video on wrapping up the Suzuki, which I'm really pleased with how that turned out. So keep an eye out for that video. That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I'll catch you next time.